Do you need beats, mixing, and mastering? Contact multi-platinum producer Tizone at Hitlanders.com. With over 20 years of music industry experience, Tizone will get your music on the right path. Visit Hitlanders.com and start your journey to a better career.
Yo, what up? It's multi-platinum producer Tizone, and you on the Hitlanders Podcast. Welcome. On this episode, we got Martinez Stephens, singer-songwriter extraordinaire. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going down is what it do, man. What's going on?
Man, chilling.
Yeah.
So, man, you done had a long journey, in the music game. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, check it out. First of all, man, I'm feeling blessed to be here for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like God has done so many amazing things, and where can I start, man? It's been some ups and downs, some journeys, things I learned to do, things I learned to not do. And I'm happy, man. It's your boy, Martinez Stephens, Martinez Music, a.k.a. Marty Ma, b.k.a. Tez, so, at the end of the day, I'm just excited because, it's really been a fight. It's really been a fight, and it's been a situation where, I learned a lot of lessons that's been like real good, and some that came at me kind of tough, but still ended up being good because coming up in this game, it was a lot to learn, and there was a lot that people taught me in good ways, and there was a lot of things that I learned that I had to find out in negative ways from the same people that said they meant me well. You know what I'm saying? So, right. At the end of the day, it's like instead of me holding grudges and being down and about, I just took those life lessons and just focused first of all on God, and then proceeded to make things look better for me. Like I said, not hold grudges, but seeing how I could take those lessons that I learned and just maneuver them and get them to work in my favor from here forward. Because I just want to do better, and I want to help those that I can too. Through my music and writing and stuff like that. And being in the music industry helped me learn those things, and I elaborate on them a lot as much as possible, or especially when people are asking me.
Okay. So where you from?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Chi-Town, you know what I'm saying? And some of y'all call it Chi-Town, Windy City, Chirac, whatever, but that's my home birthplace. I still, all of my family still reside there. I go there, you know what I'm saying? I'm born and raised there. I love it. It's just me, I'm Chi-Town.
Dope. So how long you been singing?
Ooh-wee. Well, let me say, I'm going to say this. I would say I really discovered my gifts, or somebody else discovered my gift about at around 9 years old. And, I was always inspired, but I never would always do it. It was just something I knew how to do. Whitney Houston was a very prominent person at the time in the 80s when I was coming up. Whitney Houston, she ran everything, and her vocal cords was beautiful. They were amazing. And I was very inspired by her. I can remember that. And then there was other people that I heard that were blues people that my grandmother used to listen to because my grandmother raised me. And so about 9 years old, and then from there, I began to get more aware of my talent. I would say around 12. And then so, I find myself like in choirs and, doing talent shows and things like that. But then I really started to get serious at like 15. And so we could say 9, but on a more professional level, since I was 15 years old, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's when it got reeled in for real.
Okay, cool. So a lot of artists like to say all the great things that they've been through in the industry. So tell me about the biggest mistake that you made in the industry. In your career, what's that one mistake you wish okay, I wish I can go back and change that?
This is, and you know what, that question is really real, and at the same time it's easy to answer. The biggest mistake that I made in the music industry is literally trying to be what everybody else thought I should be. And literally trying to make everybody else's vision for me my biggest goal. And at the end of the day, that was a mistake, because you can't live up to everybody else's perspective. And then as soon as you don't do something according to the way that somebody wants, or when they don't have the time to deal with you like they claim, it's like you left alone like you was in the first place, like almost like you had nothing. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, I wish I would have stayed dedicated and focused to the ones that really meant me well. And I say that because of this right here. There have been some people that really had good intentions in dealing with me, but someone always came along telling me that they could do better. Mm-hmm. And telling me that they could, help me advance, in my music and in my career. And I'm like, okay, me, especially with me being young, I'm like, okay, well, let me go over this way then and give this person a chance, because they say they could do better than this. But at the end of the day, it didn't work out, because then they, people had their agenda for me, plus they had their own agenda. And then it left me in the slumps to just being by myself, because the ones that had a vision for me or claimed they had an agenda for me and they couldn't follow through. So I'm left alone. So the ones that was really trying to take their time and assist me with love, compassion, and care, I missed out on, because they were doing it out of love while somebody else was trying to get a bag. You know what I'm saying? And so I missed out on that. And even though the ones that meant me well, it was moving kind of slow. But that's because they were the person that was really trying to help me. They were moving slow because they wasn't chasing a bag. They wanted to see me mature and be better and grow. And I felt like it was too slow. And then somebody else was telling me it was too slow and trying to move me on. And I say all that to say that, yeah, that was the biggest mistake. So not taking my time and being dedicated and focused versus trying to live up to everybody else's perspective.
Okay.
Hurt hard.
So do you think like a lot of artists make that mistake because they start to chase something that they already have and they don't even recognize that they have it already? So they go looking for something else?
Man, listen. Don't get me started, because, one thing about me is I love being transparent. I love keeping it real. And I'm going to tell you for sure, artists do that. That's their biggest mistake. And here's, and I'm telling you, if you listen to this, listen to me. Don't think this just because you don't know me or I ain't big yet that I don't know what I'm talking about. That'll be your other mistake. Check this out. Artists always have the tendency they get started, right? And let's say they have nothing, but when they start, recording a few songs and this and that, and some attention start coming to them, what they start listening to is what everybody say they should do and think what they should do and this and that, right? But you have to make sure that you slow down and don't follow what everybody else is trying to get you to do. Find out what works for you, but here's the biggest point. Find out who's really for you. Everybody act like they with you and for you, but you have to find out who is really for you. That's what's going to help your career, because the ones that are really for you are going to be the ones that deal with you when you ain't got nothing. They're going to help you get something when you ain't got nothing. And that's right. I'm using Ebonics. Ain't got this and that. They're going to be for you when you don't have anything. And they're going to be for you when you got something, because they really want to see you make it. It's not about the money. It's not about the dollar. And that's who you need to make sure you surround yourself with always. And it's going to be people that's going to come at you when you get all the attention and get the radio airplays, and they're going to get you to try to slide over with their group and this and that. But you got to remember, hold on. You got to make important decisions if I maneuver over here. And then the thing is, too, I'm not saying that it's not good to make no moves. But when you make moves, you need to make moves with the ones that were with you from A1 to day one. Even if your real homie say, all right, bro, listen. All right, sis, listen. You going over, we here for you, but don't let that opportunity pass you up, because I sit on the back end and I just watch you. You feel what I'm saying? They going to always have your best interest. and make sure you really hanging around the ones and being with the ones that have your best interest. That's what you better figure out for your career. Who really got your back? Okay? Not just sliding because what's the name them say you hot and you need to slide over this with this other person and what's the name them and you can make some money fast. Man, you better get focused. You better get focused and quit moving so quick and really pay attention to who has your best interest, even if you got to pray about it. This is R&B, this is pop, this is rap. You better stay focused and stay with the team and the people that's really got your back.
So how do you determine like who have your back and like who really is out for your best interest, or they trying to just get that bag? Because a lot of artists can't see like who's who, especially when, you know, the fame starts to come, because a lot of artists think, you know, it's just them. And once everything start popping, you know, they eliminate all the people who helped them get to where they at, you know? So how do you, you know, determine who's who, who's doing what, and who's really down for you and want to see you win in the right way?
Check this out. Number one, God gave you this thing called instinct and gut. You know, you sitting inside of your spirit and you hearing all this and you seeing all this, but, you know, some of it sound good, but you will be able to determine. And that's what you got to do. You can't get lost in the sauce. You got to stay focused and dig deep. It'll be right in your spirit. That don't sound right. Or that sound cool, but I don't know. If something is really good for you, you see what I'm saying? And especially when God is sending a blessing, it's going to come simple. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's always going to be easy, but yet it won't be too complex. I'll give you a prime example. I read an article on when Nelly first came up in the St. Lunatics, right? And he was popping with a few other things from the mixtape, and he had Country Grammar. And at the end of the day, when it came to him getting the deal, getting some radio airplay, you know, Nelly was with the St. Lunatics. They were a group. And the record label was offering him just a solo deal. And Nelly he wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to do the solo deal, you know, but because the St. Lunatics and his guys loved him, they was like, yo, man, you know, we your boys. We got you, man. Don't leave that deal on the table. Go make it happen, because if you pop up, the Lou is going to be on the map, and then you can come back and get us. And that's what he really did. That's exactly what he did. So what I'm saying is he was uncomfortable, but those that really loved him pushed him forward. And then everything worked out, because exactly how they planned is exactly how it happened. And as you can clearly see, Nelly went back and got his boys. You see what I'm saying? So stuff may not always come easy, but you can tell in your gut feeling whether it's right for you or not. Plus, on top of that, man, you just have to remember. You have to remember that when everything start getting big and everything start popping off, you got to remember who was showing you the most love, compassion, affection, bagging you up, and everything whatnot in the very beginning. Who was encouraging you? Who was dedicating you? Who was driving you? Who was supporting you? Who was giving you, you know what I'm saying, $20 or whatever to have a little fare to get over there and go do your little song? And who was driving you to the studio? Who was helping you, dedicated? Your mother, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your cousin. And, you know, when you didn't have nothing, when you felt down, and, you know what I'm saying, and your boy. Because you got brothers from another mother that'll switch up on you when you change. But who was really there? And so you have to trust that, because I'm telling you, the more attention you get, the bigger that camp is going to get automatically. Mm-hmm. Automatically. It's going to happen, because everybody trying to get there's a new A&R that's going to come for you. There's going to be a new talent agent that's going to come for you. There's going to be a new promoter that's going to come for you. It's going to be people who be hollering about, yeah, you got that manager, but I can do this for you. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if they really for you, watch this. I'm about to tell you something that's going to help you. If they really for you, they going to take everything that comes with you. If your homeboy been managing you from day one, and he been getting results, all right? He been effective. Or your mama or your sister, and they been getting results, and they been effective. Then somebody come along and tell you they can manage you better, but they don't want to deal with your mama. That's because they trying to secure the bag for themselves. Because if they really want you and they care about you, they'll take your homeboy, they'll take your mama, they'll take their insight, they'll take their feedback. Now, they'll deal with them on a professional level and give them encouragement on a few things you need to do. But they ain't gonna be busy trying to squeeze and get them out the way, because they gonna understand that that's what's important to you. Your homeboy, your mama, your brother, they understand that person is important to you, and they gonna make sure that everything that's important to you, man, y'all better listen to me. They gonna make sure that everything that's important to you is gonna keep you comfortable and be in your life so that you can be comfortable, because if they really care about you, they just want you to be comfortable, whether the bag is coming or not.
Right.
And that's how you figure that out. Are they willing to take everything that's with you? I'm not saying that you can bring the whole camp at one time. But they're not going to be busy trying to sweet talk you about getting away from the ones that's been there for you since day one. They'll accept the ones that's been with you for day one.
Exactly.
You hear me?
So most people, they come in after things get hot, and then they try to play divide and conquer.
Bingo. That's your first sign.
That's the biggest thing that artists go through. It's like they get their single popping, they, things starting to move, and then you start seeing a whole different camp, a whole new team. It's like, where's the team that got you there? Why would you eliminate the people that actually help you get there? And now you got all these other people saying, okay, we're going to take you to the next level. We're going to make you bigger. You're going to do this and you're going to do that. And they just securing the bag on you and eliminated all of your people. And then what I tell artists, guess what's coming back around? Karma.
That way.
That karma is going to come right back around.
That way.
And it's going to bite you in the ass.
Absolutely.
Because you have to recognize how you got there. And if you can't recognize how you got there, you damn sure not going to recognize how you're going to stay there.
You're going to stay there. And that's the goal is, and a lot of people need to understand too, really, realistically in the music industry, the hard part is not getting there. People think, oh, it's so hard, I got to do this, I got to do it. The hard part is not getting there. The hard part is getting there and staying relevant. And in order for you to stay relevant, you got to have people around you that care about you enough to help you keep relevant. They got to keep your mental status together. They got to make sure you don't be in trouble. They got to make sure you're doing right. I mean, look at your hardest gangster rappers still in the game. You know why they still in the game? Because when they was wrong and when they was right, they had people around them that really cared. And they stuck with them and they fought hard with them and they grind with them.
That foundation.
And they ended up finding out, God dang, the people that I put in the back burner was the ones that was really for me. And they the reason why that artist is still shining in there that way.
Exactly. So what are the things that keep you motivated, in this industry, to keep pushing and keep doing music? Because like you started out, doing R&B, and now you over in the gospel lane. Like, what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is me realizing, and this is something that I thank God for, and it had to bring me to light, is realizing, that, and it may sound cocky, but yeah, that I'm talented, and God gave me a certain gift to do a certain thing. And yes, I do it for him, not ashamed of it, excited, I'm glad about it. But I begin to realize, wait a minute, I can't just sit here and do nothing because I have this gift. And this gift, it just keeps stirred up in me. I can't sit down, I can't be still, I can't just sit and do nothing. I always want to sing, I always want to write, I want to be creative. And so I know I got to do something. And I also know that I can also help somebody else, even through my music. And, at the end of the day, even with me doing R&B, like, because I was running into so many tests and trials, that's what really made me become undedicated in that and to sticking with R&B and music itself. But then with me growing up and in a Christian family and having a relationship with God, just like my gift, God always pulled at me, tugged at me, talked to me through his spirit that he gave me. And so I began to realize that, okay, first of all, I love music and I really want to do this, but I decided, I made a decision within myself that if I'm really going to do it, I got to stay dedicated. If I'm really going to do it and stay dedicated to it, I might as well turn the gospel, because in my life, God began to do other things. I started like talking with people, and people used to come to me with their problems and talk to me, and they still do. And they talk to me about their problems, and I would give them assistance and spiritual advice. And so within me, and I'm speaking about me personally, was the fact that God began to show me that I am a servant and a helper. Mm-hmm. Okay, he showed me I was a servant and a helper. So I said, okay, if I'm living a life of ministry, and this is outside of music. I was working with kids. I still do. I still do. Working with kids and people coming to me when I'm giving them spiritual advice. And then I began to advance my education also. While I took a break from music, I advanced my education also and looked into biblical studies. And I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I said, God, I'm going to give my life towards you, because I'm serving people and helping people in the first place in many different areas, from personal training all the way to mental health and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be a servant, and then I'm going to come out with a gospel album, and I'm going to go hard with it. I'm a serve, and I'm going to do music, and I'm going to use the gift you gave me in all areas, from music to all the way to helping people on the physical part. And so I just turned everything to gospel, and I just kept pushing and kept going. And then I said, okay, if I'm going to get back in this game, because I definitely walked away from it. I said, if I'm going to get back in this game, I'm going to give it my all. Mm-hmm. And so you have it here right now, my story versus his story, and I'm writing for other people, and I still do. I still write, I still help people even in the R&B realm, writing and stuff like that, because this is what I do. I assist people. So any way that I can assist them, I'm not going to condemn anybody because they want to do R&B. If I can assist them and I can help them, I'm with it. And it's a gift that God gave me, so why would I not use it? I'm talking about even including writing. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. And what keeps me motivated is the fact that when you can put a smile on people's face, when they hear your music, or when they hear you talk to them and help them, encourage them and speak to them and minister to them, they smile and say, okay, you made me feel better, or thanks for helping me. Then you realize, okay, I got something here. I'm made for a special purpose. So I grind, and I just keep eating that. That motivation is God putting me in place to do great things and keep doing great things in my life, and seeing people's lives turn around from the assistance that I gave them using the gift that God gave me. And that's that right there.
Okay. So, do you get any, judgment, being that, you dibble and dabble in the R&B world and then go back into gospel? Do people tend to judge you and think that you should stay in just that one lane?
You know what? Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people do think I'm trying to pay both sides of the fence. And this is where, and I get criticism, but this is where I leave it at right here. Listen to me good. At the end of the day, God knows me. And one thing you will never be able to do is please man in the entirety. If I do 100% gospel and nothing else, and don't write no R&B songs or hooks for anybody, people will say, "Oh my goodness, he do gospel, but he look cocky," or he think because he do gospel and his album doing good, he getting wealthy, and he gonna lose that if he get ahead of himself. Somebody's always gonna have something to say about something. You cannot please everybody. And so at the end of the day, God knows where my heart is at, and my heart is, towards him. And when it comes to me being an artist, and what I prefer, my preference is gospel music, anything that speaks about God and speaks about the life of God and what he's done for me and his son, Jesus Christ. Okay, but listen, God also gave me this talent, all right? And he blessed me to not only be able to write, but he also blessed me to be able to sing. All right. And he gave me the spiritual knowledge and understanding of not only how to live for him, but he gave me this gift. And I can listen to a beat, and I can bring forth a sound. And with my writing, I can bring forth a concept. And I'm saying all this for a purpose. It's not a bragging. But when I bring forth that particular sound and that particular concept, well, some people like that sound. Here's the point that I'm proving. How did you think Puff Daddy became the hot producer? Mm-hmm. How do you think Brian Cox became the hottest writer? How do you think Usher had some of the hit songs? Because somebody assisted him in writing them, and somebody assisted him in producing him. Okay, Rodney Darkchild Jerkins, they call him the Dark Child. Okay, his mother comes from a ministry background. He is a believer in Christ. He produced Mary Mary. He produced Brandy. He produced Usher. But he believes in God. Okay? So he has a gift. So he's supposed to shut his gift down that God gave him to be able to, make money and take care of his family. So my preference is gospel, but I mean, come on. If somebody wants an R&B song and I have the ear, well, first of all, I have the ear and the experience, all right, from used to doing R&B, and I have the experience to assist them in their journey because that's what they want to do. Well, not only am I helping them, but yeah, I get a check with it too. But it's a gift. But God knows what my preference is, and that's towards him. Okay, so I might write an R&B song, but that don't mean I'm, living an R&B life. And it's not a double-edged sword, and it's not me being fake and trying to play both sides. It's literally just me using the talent and doing good that I work at. So you're gonna tell me because I'm a security guard at a strip club that I'm with every stripper? So people gonna say what they want to say. No, I'm just a security guard at the door to make sure somebody don't come in and shoot the place up. It's my gift, so at the end of the day, pray for me and get over yourself. Because I'm a realist too. I'm very transparent. So
right.
What it is.
So when did you know that your music career was really, really getting serious and it had transitioned from you just doing some songs to now you're headed for the music industry? When did it really get serious?
You had to go there, didn't you? So I'm gonna say I found out a long time ago, and even in this journey I gave up, but I found out a long time ago. So at 15 years old, I was referred through someone, and I'll touch more on that in a bit. And a phone call was made, and at first it was a situation where, okay, let me hear the little guy, and this and that, and I sang. And then from there, people started to pay attention, like, wait a minute, he doing this thing. So I get an introduction, and things would get to moving, and then I'm recording songs, and people are like, man, he young, but he hot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, I'll elaborate on this more, but I'm just giving you a short story. Like, when those people, because again, all of them didn't mean me well, but when those people started giving me attention and asking me to perform here and perform there, and then the songs was getting played on the radio, and then I had artists that were out, begin to want me to, feature them, and then I was being asked to go on tour, I was like, okay, yeah, this is deeper than what I thought it was. And so that's when I took a step back and realized, this, if I really stick to this can get me somewhere. And then, the epiphany was like when my father started getting phone calls. Like, do you mind if we take him out of school? And do you mind, And it was like, wow. And I started doing major shows and started getting a lot of attention. Now, it was situations that, of course, made me and broke me. But that's when I started to get an epiphany, like, okay, yeah, so, yeah, this is real. And so I learned early on, at a very young age that, if I really dedicate myself, this can become really whatever I want it to be if I remain focused and take it to another level and just stick with it.
So who did you go on tour with?
Okay. So I've been on the likes of tour with people like a Chicago artist, Twista. He came out with the Kamikaze tour. I went on that tour. And then White Boy No Gray Area when Icy Records was real big in Chicago. I've had a chance to link up with people like Jaheim and 112 and Public Announcement, and did a small little segment tour back in the day, and he probably never would remember this, but Kanye, and so I've been on tour. Matter of fact, one of the tours was called the Seagram's Gin Live Tour. Another tour was the Kamikaze Tour. The Seagram's Gin Live Tour had me, Public Announcement. I did a few opening acts. Jaheim, Jagged Edge. I remember it like it was yesterday. So I did a few tours, and it was amazing. And that's when I really, seen that like my dream was basically coming true. Now, don't get me started on what money went where, who took what, and all this other stuff. But my dream was starting to come true, and I started to see that, yeah, this is really real and it's huge, because not only was I doing this, I was doing this at a very young age, having to get homework and not being at school and having to make up homework, and friends getting jealous and don't want to be my friend no more because I'm doing big things and, stuff like that. So it was then I'm like, wow. This is big. This is really big, and that's where it was important for me to really pay attention. But yet, with me being so young, that's when the disadvantage of things started to happen. So,
how would you sum all of that up? Like, what did you learn from being on tour, the people you were with, and things like that?
What I learned from being on tour was, first of all, it's fun. And I'm not gonna front. It's fun. You begin to see things that you didn't never think you would see before. Come on now, we talking about a Southside of Chicago, born and raised Englewood hood kid that is rubbing elbows with some of the top celebrities, being in LA, being in Florida, being in New York, being in St. Louis, being in California, being in Texas and many other places that I never thought that I would see. Okay, first of all. And so it was fun, but man, what I learned is you got to be careful on who you let manage your money. You got to be careful on who you let collect on your behalf. You got to be careful on, once again, letting people shape and mold you the way they want you to, the way they vision you and the way they see you, and telling you what you need to do and how you need to do it and how you need to dress. And there's nothing wrong with professional advice, but they were like basically demanding it. And if you want to do this, you got to do it this way and this, and that. And it found that on tour, it showed me that, you can have fun, but you can also feel trapped. All right. Because lots of times I did. You can feel trapped. I don't mean trapped like being away from home, trapped like you know what is being said to you. You don't really sit right with you, but you're just trying to go to the flow because you're trying to make it and you don't want to piss nobody off. No, what you need to do is stand up for yourself and piss somebody off and let them know you're not with all of that, because you're not going to shape me into this R&B type person when I'm not trying to be this R&B type person. You're not going to make me wear this when I got a different look, and what you're trying to make me to, is not me. And so I learned that you have to be able to protect yourself on tour, being away from home, my daddy not around, my mama not around, and people giving me influences and telling me what to do, because then you also find out who your friends and who ain't your friends, who for you and who not for you. Right. See, you out there. The music industry is a grown man's world, but now you on tour, young. I don't even care if you're not young. You're on tour with a bunch of grown people who not only know the business a little better than you, but they know how to play to make money in different ways that you probably ain't ever thought of. Okay? And so they'll take advantage of you. And so again, that's why you need to surround yourself with people that love you. And if you hopping on a tour, you need to have somebody on that tour that you 100% trust. Because if you don't, somebody got your back. Because if you don't, this cat's waiting on you from city to city. They'll throw the girls in your face and be taking money from you on the back end that you got coming to you and telling you that it's for this fee, it's for that fee, man. The tour showed me how to grow up and how to pay closer attention when it come to this business. You heard me?
So, being that, like, you were young, so it was nobody that went out on the tour with you. So, from your camp, it was just you?
You know what? So I had people that were AKA supposed to be in certain positions to assist me, who knew that I was young. Because I'm telling y'all, man, like I was 15, 16 years old and I was in some of the top clubs. And I'm not even going to tell you how I got in, but I was in some of the top clubs, unimaginable. I seen things you wouldn't imagine, things that adults was doing. I seen it with my own eyes. And so there were people that were AKA supposed to be, but I'm going to tell you exactly how it went. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be the road manager, or they were supposed to be the guard, or they were supposed to be the one protecting me. But when you're on tour and the ladies all around, and there's drugs all around and there's drinks around, yeah, they got me, but they not gonna babysit me to the point where they ain't gonna have no fun. And so when they get into their fun, what you think I'm doing? I'm lingering, I'm sitting, I'm watching, I'm waiting because they got me, but they ain't trying to miss out on the fact that old girl is, twerking on a pole, or she flashing and she doing her thing and she trying to get their attention because they're the direct link to the person that they really want. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't finna throw no names around, but you know what I'm saying? Include me. Even if the person she really wanted was me, because they just saw me get off stage and I was on stage with this celebrity and this celebrity was singing and I was right there, and then I came behind them and did a song before them, and so they figure I'm a part of the camp, and so they trying to maneuver and work their way in. And so when fun is being had, yes, fun, but it can get kind of dangerous. And so was there anybody really with me? No, I was a part of a camp, but everybody was having their fun. So, yeah, I was by myself. No parent, no mother, no father, no auntie, no uncle, nobody, no cousin. I was by myself, rolling with people that, check this out, half of them, man, that I was rolling with, man, I had just met them 3 weeks ago. I just met them. But
so yeah, it was all just all new.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody fresh. So it's
new.
basically like what we talked about earlier. You started one way and got, a buzz and ended up with a new camp.
A whole new camp. And that's a lesson that I learned, is stick with your people. Okay? Don't let nobody tell you need to leave your camp. The ones that's been chopping and grinding with you. That's what I'm saying. If they for you, they'll take everything with you.
So how did that happen?
If you know if they know you got a camp, they'll stick with the camp. And basically how it happened was, it was plain and simple. Mogs was coming up to me, and when I use the word Mogs, I'm being very light, because for spiritual reasons, because I want to say mother, because it was coming up on me. All right, and they was like, yo, who your producer? Tizone Antonio Street. Oh, I know about Tizone. He doing what with you? See, this how they exercise. They working like this right here, like just like I'm bringing it to you. He doing what with you? Oh man, he producing songs on me, and so what are you trying to do? Who he trying to get you signed with? Oh, we talking to different labels. Man, you hot. I'm telling you right now, man. You come with me and give me a little while and give me a couple months, I'll walk you to the president of the Jive. And you know what I'm saying? And I know him personally. I got him on my line, man. You hot, man, but you need to let me do the production. Hint, hint. They want to do the production because they want to get the credits, because with the credits come royalties. All right? And it's a bag behind it. You need to roll with me, man. No offense, but man, if you really want to get somewhere, you need to come with me, but you need to leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to have no conflict. Oh, you signed to him? Like did he physically make you sign a contract? Me being young, I'm like, no, he didn't physically, but he take care of me. He feed me. He pick me up from school and make sure I'm safe and give me a bed to sleep in when I come into the studio and record it. But no, he ain't make me sign it. No, he ain't make you sign it. See, you need to sign with me, because if you sign with me, I get you to that, and see that they just keep throwing their amenities at you, and then it begins to sound good and good and good. And I'm trying to tell you, at 15 to 16 years old, you like, shoot,
10,000, a lot of money.
10,000, a lot of 15. Money. Let's go. And so they throwing dollar signs at you, and then
straight out the hood,
and then they advance you too, because they want to take you where the hype is at. So they start letting you see the pretty girls. You go, matter of fact, come to me with this show tonight. This person gonna be there next week. See, I'm trying not to name call, you know what I'm saying? And this person gonna be there, that person gonna be there, and then you see it. Then they let you see what you want, and see what they do is they raise you up so they can make you their bag. Because one thing about me is I'm not trying to boast, but being young, I had a melodic voice, and then I was very knowledgeable on how to write music. But the flip side on being knowledgeable on everything that I became was that it was this right here. God gave me the gift, but the producer that had me before all the hype came is who developed me. See, Tizone had me. I knew how to write a song because Tizone had to show me that, man, your song is everywhere. Your verse is everywhere. You need to get it 4-bar, 8-bar, 4-bar. Huh? So, okay, here's what I mean. And they break me down and he showed me how to write. You see what I'm saying? And so the development that everybody think is so hype and so beautiful, it was taught to me. And I was nurtured. And so they were getting the essence of the work that was put into me. and what was taught to me. And but at the same time, their sweet nothings and amenities and things that they were throwing at me and money and this and that is what got my attention because, you know, I'm young. And boom, it just went downhill from there.
Right. So when you look at that, like, how did you feel knowing that, you know, I basically put in all of that work, you know, developing you, showing you the song structure and all of these different things, countless hours. And for that material to be taken and to do another deal somewhere else, you know, during that time, like, what were you thinking? What was your thoughts? You know, knowing that basically somebody else started this, but got eliminated because other people was doing like snake business. You know, what was your thoughts?
Oh, that's easy. And I'm real glad that you actually asked me that question because the thing is this right here. Me being the person that I was or who God created me to be, even in the music industry, you know, I had love, I had compassion, I cared about my camp, you feel me? And so that I say all that to say this right here. I myself felt very bad. Like real talk, I'm getting all this publicity and this fame and this and that, or this attention. That's what I'm gonna say, attention, right? But I'm not gonna lie, I actually felt bad about the fact that, wait a minute, I know this, because I always knew in the back of my mind, I know this wouldn't be happening unless Tone was on board. And there has been, and I'm telling y'all, I'm not just saying this to be saying this, there has been situations where I've said to the people that were around me, well, you know, let me talk to Tone. No, man, you don't need to doing that. We got you. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to talk to Tone about what we doing this. He's not a part of this and this. And I'm like, let me just see what he think. And this and that. And because I felt bad that like he's not included, and I know that I wouldn't be getting the attention. Like let's keep it 100. The only reason why I ended up on tour is because an individual heard a song that Tone produced, liked it, and was inspired by it, but he produced it and showed me how to write it. But I'm getting his attention, and now, you know, he not a part of the thing, and he been with me since A1 day one. Because I think I started jumping on tour when I was like 16 and a half, and I mean that literally. I got with Tone when I was 15. He molded me. About a year and a half later, you know, after I had some understanding, hadn't been in the business that great, you know, I started getting attention. Next thing you know, I'm going on tour. But Tone fed me. Tone produced songs with no money down. Tone sat me down when I got full of myself, and I was telling him what should be done and didn't know nothing. And he was the father figure or the big brother for sure. I don't even want to say the father figure because he ain't old. You know what I'm saying? But he was the big brother. Like, yo, you know, chill. Like, you getting ahead of yourself. And now you think you know it all. Matter of fact, you being smart. Sit down. You ain't even finna write today. You ain't even finna just sit down and just be still and just listen. Because you got to cool out because you being a kid. Hard-headed. Okay, and so I'm moving forward and I'm advancing, and I felt guilty because I knew that, not to say he wasn't advancing in his life, but he wasn't advancing like with me. As a matter of fact, again, we go back to him not being the one on the road with me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I felt like he should have been there. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, like I felt convicted, but I was getting results, but the results wasn't for the good of my favor. And that was the downfall. And if I had to do it all over again, I'm going to be 100. I'll tell some people, man, shut up talking to me, or don't even talk to me, talk to him. And if you want me to do thus, and thus, talk to him. Talk to him. You feel what I'm saying? Like, call him. Ask him. Because, again, and I said we was going to touch on this, and here it is, and it came back around. I knew it would. You got to find out who for you. And you got to make sure you stay focused and stick to that person. Because if I could do it all over again, I would say, yo, talk to Tizone. Facts. You want me to do this? Talk to Tizone. You want me to go here? Ask Tizone. You want this produced on me? Talk to Tizone. You want me to do what with who? Talk to Tizone. Because one thing I knew, and this is what made me feel bad, is in spite of all the attention that I was getting, one person I knew cared about me because they gave me various reasons they cared about me and showed me was Tizone. And so I went with the flow because I wanted the fame. I mean, come on. I went with the flow what people told me because I wanted the fame. But what I've learned is loyalty. Loyalty is key, my friend.
Yeah, loyalty is
When
everything.
you lose the loyalty, my friend, you're in trouble. And look at it years later now. Who I'm with? Tizone. Same person I was with when I turned 15. Who I'm with? Who do music production on me? Who I write with? You know, who helping my career yet again excel way beyond than it was before? Tizone. Why? Because that's who always meant me well. Everybody can say whatever. But where I'm at, God made that happen.
Exactly. So with the shift of the industry and, you know, how we used to do things, you know, back in the days with CDs and, you know, that independent grind, you know, like, how do you feel about the whole streaming thing now? Like, because we used to grind back in the days. We used to press them CDs up and we used to hit the streets and, man, get out there $10 a pop, you know, and, man, get that bread.
Yeah.
So, like, what is your, you know, your process now, you know, being that, you know, everything is digital and, you know, do you still, you know, do the grassroots, you know, marketing, the selling of the CDs? Like, what's your process now?
My process now. Okay, so first of all, you was asking how I feel about it and this and that. I think it's crazy. I think what it is, you know, you can get a deal now in the most wonderful, unlimited ways. All right. You know, but at the end of the day, what it boils down to is you have to remain dedicated to your hustle. And back in the, like you would mention, back in the day, like that's what we did. We hustled. We hustled because before the record labels came along and before, you know, people was giving attention, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have Instagram, Twitter, and all of that, you know what I'm saying? So we had to get out there and be heard. And the way that we got heard is we made moves. We maneuvered. We made it happen. And again, we said it before. It's when you get attention, everybody want to jump on your bandwagon. And that's what the new situation is now, is when you push for attention, you get that attention, you get them 100,000 views, then everybody is on you. And that's good because that's what you want. You in this business, you need attention to move forward, and you need attention because attention gets you known. But you can't lose in its entirety how things were done. Because it goes, I mean, we can go further back all the way to, I'm going here, Sam Salter and you know, Teddy Pendergrass and Patti LaBelle. See, they didn't even have CDs. They had to go in bars and clubs and grind and push. They didn't have CDs on hand. You know, they had to become made known, and then they had to be known in the club, and somebody say they hot, then they go in the studio and they record, and then they sell the album off of the work that they put in. And so now, you know, all of this streaming and stuff like that, yeah, it's cool. It's a part of the game, but you cannot rely on that. You have to still get your name out. You have to still make physical CDs. You have to still go out here and make people know that you're not just studio talented, you're talented, okay? And so you have to make yourself known. So you have to go out here and make connections and network and vibe with people and jump on this show and do that talent show or whatever. You can't just expect to put up a video and hope it hit some views. If you're serious about what you're doing, you have to grind, you have to push, you have to excel, you have to keep going, you have to get the physical CDs made. You have to have some available on hand. You got to be prepared to let somebody buy them. You have to, you have to just be overall prepared. And it's going to take a little bit of money, but it just has to take time and effort. You can't just put your music up, let it get streamed, put it up in the streaming category or process, and then just think that everybody's going to jump on board. How do people know who you are? You have to go out here and you have to put your energy towards everything. You have to stay focused and really master your craft. And you have to keep pushing and driving. You just can't rely on everything that's just available, because at the end of the day, there is a lot available, but it cannot happen and function unless you push and put effort towards it.
Right. So you think, artists in this era, they got it easy, or, are they putting in the right amount of work to actually be successful? Because I feel like certain artists, some artists don't really know what it takes to be successful, because they want to be internet sensations and, blow up overnight, and, they looking to be a one-hit wonder now instead of having an actual music career.
Correct. And that's what applies. And that's even something that I learned, Yeah, of course, like I say, you can say all day long, click, like, and share, view my video, but that is the problem. If you're going to do something, you have to learn the overall totality of the business. Okay, you have to learn you have to learn not only what it takes to market, but you have to learn how much you can make from marketing. You have to learn why you market and how much money you can put in your pocket marketing. You have to learn why the marketers do what they do. You got to learn why the promoters be in the clubs doing what they do. You have to learn the basics all the way down the line, and that right there is what makes you a better hustler. See, you have to have an overall plan, because you want to stay successful in your music career. All right, so you can't just be an artist, get a song, put the song up, and hope it make it. You got to find out what the marketer does, what the promoters do, and most of all, what does the manager really do? And then you got to know how much to pay the manager, because managers will screw you. All right? And so the overall hustle is not only how you grow in the business, but it's also how you stay relevant. I told you, it's not hard to get some attention. It's hard to stay relevant, because you'll make money and you won't even know how to maintain it and manage yourself. You'll find yourself broke as just as big as you got. Because there's so much other people doing what you're doing.
Right. It's not hard to, get attention. It's people go viral on, Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
Right.
And right after that, it be next, the following week, nobody knows them.
That's right.
Because it's not an actual career. It's a moment in time. So artists now are not creating real music industry careers, which leads back to my concept: 10% talent, 90% business.
Absolutely.
They don't want to do the actual business.
Man.
They don't want to do music business. This is not just music. So when you start talking about marketing, real promotion, branding, they don't think about that. Let's go to the studio, let's make the song, upload it to YouTube. Now I'm looking to be a star. Why I'm not a star next week? Or, man, it must be the producer didn't make the beat right, or the engineer didn't do this right. Well, how about you didn't do the marketing right? How about you don't have a brand? How about you didn't promote your product? It's like, do you think like Coke or Pepsi gonna go and make their soda and say, all right, it tastes good to us, now let's see if it sells? No, they got a marketing campaign all the way down to what color schemes that they're gonna use. So I think once artists start looking at things from the business side, learning what publishing is, everybody is preaching ownership.
Yeah.
We got to own our masters. Do you actually know what the masters are?
Man, you know what I'm saying?
How you gonna own something that you don't even know what it is?
No, on the real.
You don't even know what your contract says. Oh, man, there's too many pages. I ain't going to read all of that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you should be reading all of that.
Now you're getting a little too personal for some people,
You should be reading all 42 pages or 142 pages of your contract. You should be taking your time and learning to understand every single section. Okay, how many albums do you have to turn in before you're out of this deal? What is your point system? You know, how many points are you getting? What's recoupable? What's this budget? You know, so artists look up and the record company tell them, oh, you're still in the red. And you don't even know what was spent. So they could be lying, saying you in the red. But, you know, how would you know? Because you don't know what's in the contract. All you worried about was the advancement money. You got your advancement. You balled out. You bought your chains and you did all of these, you know, different things. So now what are you going to do? You know, when are you going to take time to read the contract? You know, and then you go and say, oh, these labels screwed me over. They got me in a slave deal. No, they did a deal. You agreed to this particular deal. Why didn't you go and read the contract and counter? If you go in and there's a job interview and they offer you $50,000, but your bottom line is $65,000, you're gonna counter offer.
Man.
You're gonna do a counter offer and say, no, I can't take that. I can take this job if you can meet me at my $65,000 mark. Because that's a counter. Same thing with a record deal. If you don't like what's in that contract, you could go and say, well, I don't like this part. Why do you have 3 options? You know, no, I want to do a 1 option deal. Mm-hmm. You know, why are you taking 50%, you know, publishing? Why is my mechanical royalty 7 when you said it was going to be 14 points? Mm-hmm. You know, so if you don't read the contract, you don't know what to counter.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Yeah. So I think it's time to really like level up on the business side and learn what the publishing is, what the sync license, you know, is, you know, if you're writing the songs, where the budget money goes, you're writing the song for yourself, who's getting paid for you working for yourself. Because now you're a songwriter and you're working for the artist, which is you. Those are 2 separate entities.
That's crazy you even mentioned that because, you know, I get it all the time that people say, you know, Martinez, oh, man, why you not doing this? And you ain't did music in a while. And why you stopping this, and that? Because I won't lie. That's the answer. I became frustrated with not knowing. And I bagged out of the game so that I can, number one, stop being screwed over because I did so majoristically, and then I had to learn some things. And when I begin to get a better understanding, both through experience and education, especially education, because I stepped back and got an education, but then it helped me realize that's why everybody's trying to do something so independently. Everybody's not necessarily chasing the label deal no more. They want it. It's cool, but they started realizing that, okay, if they got to pay the marketer, they got to pay the producer, they got to pay the writer, and the royalties, they started figuring out, oh, well, if I really stay focused and take my time, I can be everything I got to pay. I can be everything that I have to pay. I can be the producer, or I can be the artist, or get a producer that is really on my team. And that's why you see all these camps. Because at the end of the day, everybody want to hop into fame. But that's why so many careers fell apart. Is because they weren't paying attention to the money. They didn't know who was taking what. They was trusting this person. That person was really with the other person that was screwing them in the first place. And they didn't educate themselves. And a lot of artists today have to do that. You have to educate yourself because you think you just go into the studio, you create a song and you put it out. But is it copywritten? And
education is the key.
And do you have an ASCAP and BMI licensing? So you don't? Okay, so how you getting paid? Are you established as an LLC? Or, you know, it's just like any regular business, but you have to know, oh, this person say they managing you. How much do you even pay them? These are some things that I didn't know.
Right, because you have a lot of artists. A lot of artists get a manager, and
the managers don't even know what they managing.
No, it's a lot of artists. They get management, but the artists end up working for the manager. The manager is getting more than the artist. The managers are paying the artists. So it's flipped around.
Yeah.
Now you have a manager where they say, okay, well, they're gonna take 10% of your earnings. But you have the situation flipped around where the artist is getting 10% of the earnings, and the manager is running off with the lion's share of all the profit.
And they're your manager and supposed to be caring about you, and they getting paid. They sending a mansion, and you trying to figure out why you can't pay your apartment rent.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's a business.
It's a business.
And that's what people don't realize. It's a business. So you have to be on your business and know that, no, the manager worked for you.
Yeah.
Why is the manager cutting your check to you? And he's touching it first.
And hold on, Tone. Now see, now you making it, you getting deep when you getting personal, because see, that's where I laugh at. Because it's funny you touch on that, because a lot of people see me now, this present day. All right. And they know I'm talented, and I get questions all the time. People look at me like I'm goofy, and they be like, all right, well, if you was with this group, Public Announcement, and you knew this person, then, why you not so big? Or how come you not doing this now? And that's the essence behind it, because I was young, and I made mistakes, and I let people handle my money, and they didn't mean me well, but they said they meant me well. Mm-hmm. And that's how I did make a little money, but that's why I didn't make it as big, because the ones that were supposed to be looking out for me wasn't looking out for me, and I was working for them, and they wasn't working for me. And so at the end of the day, people not realizing that though I was on tour, and I was with this person, I was with this artist. I mean, I did shows. I mean, come on, man. You name them. I've been around them, and I did shows with them. Kelly Price, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, Jaheim, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, Genuine. You name them. I done did shows with them and got paid. But I didn't get paid what I was supposed to get paid.
Right, because you didn't even know what you supposed to get paid.
I didn't even know what I was supposed to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. I done been on worldwide tours, man. I did a 50-city tour. 50 cities. And I got paid $250 per diem. They paid for all my hotels. They paid for everything. But when I'm doing the shows with all these celebrities, and then I did the House of Blues tour. That was the other tour. I did the Secret Gen live tour. I did the House of Blues tour, and then I did the Kamikaze tour. So all these people screaming and they hollering and they spent money on tickets, right? I know I went on the stage and killed it. So how come I ain't really got no thousands in my pocket? Why you giving me 1,000, but you smiling harder than the 1,000 you gave me? You feel me? Because I find out, well, you didn't did this 50-city tour, and the tour company and the label that messed around and gave the manager $15,000 up front, and on top of every night. I didn't know that.
Which it was probably 50 or even more.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
I didn't know that.
And so, you're getting a $250 per diem per show. So basically, they just making sure you eat.
I'm eating.
But
people behind the scenes getting racks.
Exactly. So thousands and thousands of dollars being exchanged on your behalf, right. And you're not touching none of the money.
And the funny thing about it is, I lived the life. I seen the girls. I've been in the mansion. I did the videos. I hung around with all the celebrities. But because I didn't know. See, that's the thing. That's what I mean by tours. They fun till you figure out business ain't being handled right.
Until it's over.
It ain't right.
Until the tour is over and you come home.
Broke.
Exactly. And you right back where you started from.
And so you can talk
after the life.
And you can talk about, I saw Kelly Price. I saw Beyonce and them. I was hanging with Genuine. And I was hanging, because I was. I'm hanging with all these people. Man, I did a show with Nelly and this and that. I was here, I was there, and we hung out with Loon, and we hung out with Puff and Bad Boy, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing. And people think I ain't never been nowhere and done nothing. No, I done some amazing things. I done been to some places, and my families and my kids and my family members and my aunties and uncles can tell you I done been in lavish places and been with some top people. But at the end of the day, my funding was not handled correctly.
Right.
And the people that were supposed to be looking out for me were not looking out for me. So I'm coming home, been around all these celebrities, and got all this fame, took all these pictures, got a little jewelry, but I got a total of maybe $3,000 out of everything. But there's the same people that was with me made over $130,000, if not more.
If probably way more.
Probably way more. They ain't gonna tell me.
Right. You looking at a 50-city tour. If you start doing the numbers on that, you're looking at millions of dollars.
I don't want to even look at the numbers, because I know for sure at the age that I am now doing what I'm doing, R&B or gospel or not, I know for a fact out of my entire career, I should not be living no less than $2 million. And that's
because millions of dollars is, being generated. So it's just like, they take a lot of artists. They know artists is writing, just like you're a writer, and you writing songs that other people may have done.
Yeah.
Other songs, may have charted, sold records, and all of that. And you're the one behind the scenes writing a record that's, another artist is doing.
Man.
And you're not reaping none of the benefits. You're not down as the writer. You don't get any publishing. You didn't get an advancement. It's just, write this because you're in the camp.
Listen.
Being in the camp just is not business. No, let me write this record because this is a business. You're a business as a songwriter. That's what a lot of artists don't realize. Like, I'm in a business of producing records. Me as a producer is a business. Yeah. So when I render you a service, I want to get paid for my service that I rendered to you. I want the front end and I want my back end. I want royalties.
Hey, listen.
Because we're in a residual business.
Man, listen.
So when I do these songs, sell these records, I want my residual. That's residual income. Yeah. So a lot of managers, labels, they know artists don't know what residual income is. They don't know what the royalty points are. So they never get a royalty check because they don't know it. They don't know it's there.
At the end of the day, it's funny we doing this podcast, and I said I was gonna keep it clean. I wasn't gonna name nobody, but you about to make me go there, and it's about to get personal because that's the whole essence of my life. Man, listen. When I think about the good stuff that God has done for me, I have an amazing background. Been a lot of places, did a lot of things, and worked with a lot of people. But when I tell you, it's some folk out there that owe me money, the residual and all that you're talking about from collaborating and songwriting and doing this and doing that and working with celebrities and giving my input and not knowing to sign the contract, I done missed out on a lot. Now I can't complain because I'm blessed, but for real, and this is why it goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. That's why it's important for artists. You artists, you out there and you think you got this and you think you got that and you think you stunting. You got to do your homework. If you gonna get in this business, and I don't care if it's gospel, R&B, pop, whatever. If you're going to get in this business, you have to do your homework. And I'm going to tell you how you start doing your homework. You got to start asking questions. Why? Who is this? Role manager. Why are they there? What do they do? Oh, they do this, and that. Okay, how much do they get paid? Okay, and why? Why? That's the marketing. Why does this have to be done? Because when you ask those questions, why, you start to get answers. And when you start to get answers, the more educated you become. Because it's a lot of work I done did in my music career, man. And I'm telling you, it's the very reason why I live where I live. Because I had to draw back and get myself to a place where I had to be comfortable because I've seen everything. People ask me all the time, what made you move from Chicago? Or if you do music, why you don't live in Atlanta? Why you ain't in LA? Why you ain't in New York? Because I've been played bogus. A lot of money has been stolen from me. It was a lot that I did not know, and I was young, and everything was so fast paced that I just want to slow down. But one of the biggest reasons why I want to slow down is so I learn more, and I know more now than I knew when I was younger. So people can come to me now and try to play them games. I know the questions to ask. I ain't saying I'm a master at everything, but I know the questions to ask, which has led me back to Hitlanders and why I'm doing the album that I'm doing now and how I'm taking my time with the knowledge that I know, and I'm way more educated than I used to be because there's been a lot of money taken from me from a lot of famous and important people, and we just gonna let that be that.
Right. So
because I didn't learn in due time that he was there for me, because I'm telling you, other than that, I'll be ready to do way worse. But anyway, yeah, that way.
Yeah,
don't even get me started, man.
It's a deep game, and you have to really be ready, and on your toes when you're dealing with, this music industry, because it's a lot of money involved. and it's a lot of sharks.
Oh man,
it's a lot of sharks and snakes.
And they not going nowhere.
That's why you have to be ready.
They still here. There's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of sharks, and they still here. For everybody that's trying to get your kids signed, and let me break this down too, because we ain't just gonna talk about the young people and the artists or any artists, but especially you parents. Because here's where my downfall was at. You parents that want to get your kids signed and get them some help, listen, find somebody that makes you feel comfortable and really ask deep questions, and don't turn your child over to any old body. Just because you think, this person is telling you your child is going to make some money. You better protect your kid, because in any business, entertainment, but the music industry, if you do not ask questions and protect your kid, they will eat your child and you alive.
Facts.
They'll eat you alive and they'll spit you out. And then when you're not a benefit to them anymore, they'll go to the next victim. Word is bond. It's nothing. Parents, please quit thinking your child is the ish. All right? Don't think they the one. They are the one. They are talented, but there's other ones. There's other issues. There's other beauties. Okay, your child's not the only one. Get it out your mind. I'm not telling you your child is not special. I'm just telling you your child is not unavailable to be ate alive if you don't protect them. Because there's plenty of it out here. You know what I'm saying? And so you must, as a parent, focus and protect them. And then even you as an artist, don't think that, because your song is hot, you better start asking questions. And if somebody is throwing money at you, like I said, you better ask why. You better even ask why they throwing money at you. Because don't get me wrong. Nobody's just going to throw money at you because they like you. They're going to throw money at you because they believe it's profitable for them to get that money back and then some.
Right. Return on their investment.
You ain't nothing but an investment.
Because it's a business. So, which would you prefer to do, the independent grind or go to a major label and get signed? If you had to choose, what would you do?
So you're asking me, what would I choose? Would I choose to do the independent grind, or would I choose to go let a label throw me $25,000 up front, which I have to give them in return, and the contract probably says I have to owe them $1 million back doing 3 albums, work hard, do tours, and still probably don't make enough money to come up? Man, I'll take independent for $300, Alex. Because and this is why you find so many independent artists. Okay, now they do gain the fame eventually, but they go into the major deal with leverage. Okay, so instead of the major deal coming in and saying, all right, we're gonna give you $1 million, they're actually saying, nah, you ain't gotta give me $1 million. I'll take $250,000 because you're gonna make me do this, and that, and I've already accomplished that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna give me a street team, I got a street team. Or you're gonna give me so many views, I've accomplished so many views. And it's like, they gonna give you a lot of money up front, but you gotta pay that. It's a business. It's like a bank giving you a loan. You gotta pay that loan back, and in the contract, there's interest. Because if they can't get interest off you, there's no need for them to even sign you. But if you can independently do it, it takes longer. But you, the bank, and all the interest that is accumulated, you get.
Yeah, and so a lot of artists won't invest. A lot of artists won't invest in themselves.
Right, and you're gonna have to do some kind of investment. And that's why people go to labels, because they may not have all the upfront money, and the label puts the money up front, but you got to pay them back. So just take your time. If you don't got it, listen, man, it's as simple as this. Go work the 3rd shift, grind hard, and put your money behind yourself. But here's what you need. You need people that's going to be for you and people that understands. And listen, it gets deeper. Listen to me, artists. Even if you got the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the wifey or the husband, if they don't understand your passion and who you are and the grind, all right? And they're not willing to stick with you when y'all eating chicken noodle soup because you trying to take 200 and actually get a song done. If they're not understanding, listen, it's okay, because everybody's dream is not somebody else's dream. And everybody don't care about your dream like you do.
That's facts.
And so if you don't have a partner that understands your dream and your compassion, I don't give a care if you're a preacher. If they don't understand your dream and your compassion, then they don't understand you. And if they don't understand you, they can't be with you. Now, I don't want to go there, but I got to tell you like it is. That's why the Bible says, be ye not unequally yoked. Because if you're dealing with somebody that don't understand who you are, then it's pointless to be with them. Because it's not going to go well, because when you're in the tough times trying to make it as an artist, they going to walk out on you. Because they not really in your corner.
Yeah,
because
as an artist,
believe when you get that fame, they going to be like, baby, remember when me and you used to take them walks? No, heifer, I remember when you left. Oh, yeah, I went there. I'm telling the kid.
Yeah, because as an artist,
dude,
it's
I
going to
remember
get...
you walked out on me and took Keisha.
It's going to get rough.
It's going to get rough.
Yeah, as an artist, it's going to get rough.
But you have to make the investment, and you have to take your time. Because here's the deal. Is it going to be a long process? Yes. But taking your time is going to give you the upper hand to have more control in your career in the end. And that's what you want, is more control, because with the more control comes comfort. It comes how you laugh. Why do you think so many artists have businesses now? Because they're trying to stay in there in the long haul. Or do they want to get with the record label, have to pay back the record label? Everybody is excited because they hear about Chris Brown. He's now owning his masters. Well, that's good. But you best believe this boy had a long haul.
Yeah, it was a long road.
And let's look at all
that.
Now, wait a minute. Now, let's look at all the negative news that came behind him. Okay, listen. And I'm telling y'all, I know this. Everybody want to talk about how he got arrested with Rihanna and how he had to clash out at Good Morning America. You want me to tell you why? Because this boy was busting this is what people don't know. He busting his behind. He going to dress rehearsals. He's keeping up with interviews. He's doing what labels is telling him to do. And he had no control over himself. And so he was becoming lost and frustrated because he signed a contract and he had to keep up with the demands. And he was losing it. I'm not trying to tell you like I know him personally, but I'm telling you what I know being a person in the business. It's hard. And when you're trying to keep up with the demands, again, doing what everybody think you should do, giving you advice, and then you put your name on the dotted line, so now you got to pay back. Listen, I don't care how famous you are. You belong to that company. And you gonna make them sales or you ain't. Now, thank God he can sing good, dance good. The popularity helped him and he made his money. But he was working his behind off, losing his mind. So
Facts.
Yes, he's gonna have troubles. Yes, he's gonna get into a fight and get an argument and lose control and black out and snap. Yeah, he gonna apologize because he's human. And the same thing go for any other artist. When I heard about all of Chris Brown's woes and this, and that, man, I felt him because he came into business young. I came into business young. Did I pop off and grow as quick as he did? Absolutely not. Am I pop off? Am I big as he is now? Absolutely not. But I'm telling you, when it comes to the business don't care who you are. Some people make it, some people don't. But the tests and trials and the tribulations that go through with it, we all go through it.
It don't care about your
because
age.
I ain't as right. It don't matter because I ain't
that.
as famous as Chris Brown. I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't never been through nothing. Is you crazy? Listen. It is what it is. No, I ain't got as much money as him, but them frustration and them rolls and them pushing them pulls and having to wake up and roll over and you ain't got control. You got to sit down and do your homework. You got to please this person. Got to be in the studio. Got to go to the dance rehearsal. I done been through all that.
Yeah.
The only difference is I decided to give up and say, you know what? I can't take that. And that's the thing. You can't give up. But I did. I was like, man, I can't take this. I'm good. Because the music industry was trying to turn me into somebody I wasn't. And so I had to make a decision. You know, I could have did what everybody told me. And I'm telling you, I could have did what everybody told me to do. And I'm telling y'all something in this business. Yeah, you know, people will try to get you to do some darnish things.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
So...
we.
So basically, stuff, like with your new project, like what type of content do you have on like the new project, and like what are you talking about? What is your mission? What are you trying to convey, you know, to like anybody who hears this project?
Yo, that is what's up, man. On this new project, I'm basically even though it's gospel, I'm keeping it real. Like I told y'all in the very beginning, I deal with people who are struggling spiritually, physically in their lives, emotionally, and this just been through some things. So even though this album that I'm talking about is about the relation of what God has done for me in my life, I'm also giving you the behind the scenes. See, that's one thing about me. I'm a writer. I'm an artist, but God has blessed me to be a good writer. And so I'm telling a story, but I'm telling the story of telling you what some of the things that happened to me. I'm telling you about the fact that I was in the music industry and I had dark days and I went into depression. I'm telling you about the fact that, you know, how I grew up and, you know, my mom wasn't there like she's supposed to have been, and the woes and the ups and downs I had with my father, and the different struggles that I had, and the things that I had to deal with on my own, not knowing what to do, being young and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, God helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear stuff about Don't Go on my album, when I say 10/19/1982, the very first time I'm talking about the introduction to my mother, and, you know, me born into this world, but yet she wasn't, you know, the mother that she could be because of different life woes and stuff like that. So I'm letting you get personal. And the next album that's coming up, I'm getting personal, but I'm just telling you that I'm just giving a sense of things that people go through that I've dealt with that are familiar to others, and just showing you how God brought me out. And so this album is to let you hear that, like, yeah, I am depressed. I get suicidal too, and I've dealt with those things, and I'm trying to get very personable and tell you how God brought me out. But this album is to encourage people, and you know what I'm saying. And then I wanted to make sure. Not trying to put it down, but I wanted to make sure that it just wasn't just, oh, God is a good God. Pray. I wanted to be real transparent and mix that hip hop and what's new and what's trending and turn that into gospel. And so I didn't want it to just be, you know, just what would be considered an ordinary type of gospel album. I wanted to be deep and tell you what the truth is, and tell you that, yeah, I'm trying. I live for God. I love for God, but I still feel crazy. You know what I'm saying? But and it is what it is. So that's what you're getting on this project. And I'm just doing it to encourage people and make them feel better and know that there's hope.
So what's the name of the project and the concept behind it?
The concept behind it is easy. I'm glad. It's called My Story versus His Story. So you look it up on any social media outlet. Is Martinez, My Story versus His Story, and that's HISSTORY, not history, but his story, HISSTORY. So it's Martinez, My Story versus His Story. And the concept is simply, is just what we were talking about so far on this podcast, is that when I was coming up in my life, period, point blank, I thought that I was going to do all of this stuff the way I wanted it, how I wanted it, and my life was going to pan out the way I wanted it, and I was going to do it this way, and, you know, let's keep it real. Let's, like, you know, get famous, get this money, have everything that I want. I was going to be able to buy what I want when I want, long as I keep grinding, pushing, doing the music industry, use my gift. But God had a different plan. Okay? Plain and simple. God had a different plan. And God even kept me from me because, like I said, I've done many great things. But those great things that I've done and been around celebrities, you know, all of them celebrities and all that fun I was having, wasn't nobody there when I was feeling depressed. Did nobody see that I was young and ready to take my life and, you know, felt lack of parents. No, a lot of people didn't see that because I was masking it. And nobody seen when I was this young, angry kid who you really could not talk to because I used to think about harming, and I'm just being 100. I was thinking about harming not only myself, but other people from being mad about the fact that my mama wasn't there, but God. God made sure that I didn't get a record for murder. And God made sure I didn't take myself out. And God made sure that, you know, that I stayed grounded and stayed focused. And God even gave me the ability to look at people and smile and help encourage them while I'm going through. And that still is the case to this day. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I help people, but I go through. And, you know, I'm not saying this for a pity party, but my story versus his story, that's the concept behind it that lets you know that, yeah, life has its real struggles, but as long as you really understand that God has something for you and he has the ability to help pull you through, that's what this album is about. Huh!
So what's your favorite song on the project?
My favorite song on the project would be, see, I got a few of them, but
if you had to pick one, like which one would it be?
The one that I would definitely pick for sure would have to be, and see, I'm stuck on So I Thought, but I'm also stuck on Sunshine. You're My Sunshine, because You're My Sunshine. It's talking about God, but it just tells you the deep woes and some of the things that I've been through. And it's just real. It's just real music. You know what I'm saying? But then I also want to give you the business on, I'm gonna give you praise. But So I Thought. I'm gonna say You're My Sunshine, but after that, So I Thought. Because So I Thought is really talking about, So I Thought backs up the title of the album. Because I thought I was going to do this. So I thought I was around celebrities. So I thought I was going to make millions. So I thought I was going to do my own thing. But at the end of the day, God was there for me, kept me from myself, and helped pull me through and give me the good life I got now. I got a good life.
Man,
I got a good life.
That's the business. It's good that, you was able to, withstand all of that and continue, your passion and continue to do good music, and really come full circle and really recognize, all the things that was happening and use those as learning lessons and be able to pass, that off to other artists just trying to come behind you, because it's a vicious game. And that's a good look.
Yeah. And if that's all, and if that's all I could do, and that's what I say, I'm happy with that, because that's what I do. I help people. I'm trying to help somebody in my music. I'm trying to help my people. And that's why I still even, write R&B for people, because it's assistance to them. I'm just trying to help them make it to the next level. I'm just hoping that they take that when they make it and get what they need, that they turn around and encourage somebody else. And this is the reason why I do what I do. This is my story versus his story is saying a lot. Pay attention. But, while we on there, look, this is what I need y'all to do. Go to your media outlets, music outlets, you know what I'm talking about? Follow me on Instagram at Martinez Music. Follow me on YouTube at Martinez Music. Follow me on Twitter at Martinez Music. And listen, just stick with me, support me, show love. Get the album. Go to Apple Music, iTunes, Deezer, Tidal, all these places. Get the album. Because it's showing me support and enables me to continue this journey of bringing you good music and then being able to help other people. Plus,
right.
I do need the money.
Right. Add your favorite song to your playlist.
Let's go.
And support independent artists, support real movements.
Support real movements.
So, man, I appreciate you, taking the time, coming doing the Hitlanders podcast.
I appreciate you sticking with me, man. I'm talking about just sticking with me, Hitlanders, for, listen, Tizone was there in the beginning. Tizone is here now. Hitlanders Podcast. I got to do this podcast first before I start getting all into the other radio interviews that's coming, because they coming, y'all. Y'all better believe that they coming. It's
yes,
going
sir.
down. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I already know that when they start making me all these strange offers, you better hear what I just told you. Don't go. Don't you bite off that. Now, if it makes sense, it makes sense.
If it's good business
is business.
Right.
But they're going to take everything that come with me.
Exactly.
What Ray Charles say? I'm going to make it do what it do, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go.
All right.
Man. All right. Talk to y'all later. Love. Peace out.
All right. It's the Hitlanders Podcast with Tizone. We signing off. If you enjoyed this podcast, please support by leaving a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Your support is greatly appreciated.